Well, in this video, I'm going to do an unplanned fine art architectural photography shoot. I'm going to show you how I take the shot and how I process one of the images in Photoshop. I just completed another vlog. I'll put a link to it in this video. And I was heading home. I was going to work on my computer and get these images in Lightroom and Photoshop. And as I was walking back to my car, I saw this building in back of me with the light hitting it and great angles. So I said, you know what? Before I go home, let's do another video. So that's what I'm doing here now. Well, I did have some clouds racing across the sky, so I wanted to do a long exposure and really capture those streaking clouds, but the clouds disappeared. I'm going to be patient. I'm going to wait and see if some of these clouds return and I can get the shot that I want. I've got about 45 minutes left in my parking meter, so got a little time to hang out here. Well, I walked around the building. It does look like I'm going to get some clouds coming by, so I'm going to set up. I'm going to use a neutral density filter. In fact, I may have to use two ND filters to stack them because it's so bright out. And if I want to use a long exposure, I really need to darken that scene. So I'll use a 10 stop and a 6 stop, and that allows me to go out probably a minute given how bright it is. Well, I'm really just going out 30 seconds. I got some cloud movement, so I'll see if they're moving pretty quickly, it'll work. I just got to get the right cloud formation. I literally just had one little set of clouds pass by and now nothing, so I got to be patient again. Well, this is the other side of the building, and I do see some clouds moving in this direction, so I'm hoping I'm gonna get lucky. I got clouds over there, but I really want them right over the building. Never seem to get lucky in that way. I think my patience paid off. I got a decent shot with some streaking clouds. I'll probably stick around a little bit longer, but for now, if you want to see how I processed one of these images in Photoshop, stick around. If not, thanks for watching, and if you like the content, just give me a thumbs up, and if you want to see more of these videos, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Until next time. Okay, so here we are in Photoshop on my computer, and I've done a little bit of work in Lightroom, really not much at all. All I really did was convert to black and white. I think I maybe pulled down the blues a little bit in the sky, but did very little. And it's not a bad image. I frankly think this is pretty cool, but I do want to create more drama. In fact, I want to turn this into this. And you've seen that final image already in the video. This is going to be a pretty short video because I didn't do too much. In fact, I made one selection and I just selected the sky. To do that, I used the polygonal lasso tool. These are all straight lines in this building. You do have to be careful because the side of the building is not kind of this perfectly straight line. You do have, if I zoom in a little bit more, you do have these angles and these ins and outs. But again, I just traced it with a polygonal lasso tool, which is a straight line kind of tool, and I was able to select the sky. And what I want to do first is to, working on the sky, create some contrast and some drama. So easiest thing to do, if I go up to my selections, I'll load selection, and I called it sky. Easiest thing to do is to use a curves adjustment layer. And that classic S curve is what creates contrast. And so I'm going to pull up on the highlights, and you see that'll brighten up the entire selection. I'll pull down on the left side of this curve, the shadows, and you get some nice contrast. So here's the before, here's the after. You know, I wanted to do a little bit more than that. And so what I did was selecting the sky again. I can just hit reselect. I went to a curves adjustment layer and pulled up on the sky. And again, that's going to brighten up the entire selection. But if we reselect, what I want to do is make it all black. And so first thing I would do is go to Edit, and I'm looking at the selection now, Fill, and I can make it black. And that's going to black it up. Now you can see on the right side, my entire image here is black, so nothing is showing through. But now I can take a brush, make sure my foreground is white. I'm going to use a relatively low flow, maybe like 3 or 4%. And I could start painting in where I want it to brighten up a little bit, so just on these clouds. Again, this is not all that dramatic, but you'll see a bit of a difference. And because I have the selection made, I'm not going into the building here. I'm just working on these clouds. So here's the before, here's the after, creating, again, a bit more drama. Now with the building, I really don't have to do too much. I didn't select parts of the building. I just want to add a little bit more contrast. So I need to select the building first. But since I have the sky or everything but the building selected, I can go to Select, Inverse, and there I've got specifically the building selected. So let's go up to a curves adjustment layer, and again I'll pull up on the right to brighten up the selection and the highlights, and then pull down on the left to darken those shadows. And here's the before, a little flatter. Here's the after. And you can always, at the end of your processing, just choose a curves adjustment layer and add more drama to the whole image. So I can, our contrast, pull up on the right, pull down on the left, and that gives you a sense. I mean, here's the before, again, not a bad image, but definitely flatter, versus the final image, which I think has more punch. Anyway, that's really all I did. Pretty good. I got lucky with those clouds. I do like this image. And if you like the content, make sure you give me a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of these videos, the best thing to do is just subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future videos. And until next time.